Hello everyone, welcome to the course Reading and Writing. In today's session we are going to discuss reflective writing. So we will look at the outline. Firstly, we will discuss what is reflective writing, then why reflect, problems in reflecting, and the forms of reflective writing. Let's look at the introduction. What is reflective writing? Have you undertaken reflective writing before? What reflective writing activities have you undertaken? Have you got any thoughts on reflective writing? Please now take a sheet of paper and write short answers for these questions. So, what is reflective writing itself? Reflective writing involves consideration of the larger context, the meaning, and the implications of an experience or action. In this slide, you can see there are different statements about reflective writing. And first, reflective writing is, and they are the statements related to reflective writing. And you can see not reflective writing is not. Firstly, we will look at the reflective writing is. Your response to experiences, opinions, events, or information, it can be reflective writing. Your response to thoughts and feelings, a way of exploring your learning, an opportunity to gain self-awareness, a way to achieve clarity and better understanding of what you are learning, and a chance to develop writing skills and a way of making meaning out of what you study. And there are some other statements that are not related to reflective writing. Just conveying information, instruction, or argument cannot be reflective writing. Pure description, so though there may be descriptive elements, and the straightforward decision or judgment, for example, about whether something is right or wrong, good or bad, simple problem solving, and a standard university essay. So we can see they are not concerning on reflective writing. They are just some problem solving essay or descriptive essay or just giving instruction or writing a summary, but not reflective writing. And there are definition of reflective writing. We will look at some examples. They are, for example, a style of writing which may be private or public, and a way to explore and clarify our response to ideas, opinions, situations, or challenges, and an opportunity to examine links between theory and practice, and a way of learning through reflecting on our experiences. Coming to the aim of reflective writing, a reflective activity allows us to learn about ourselves and equips us with the tools to enable us to move forward in a positive way. And by engaging in a reflection on a regular basis, we continue to learn and develop as we study or work. For this reason, it is important to view reflection as a continual, ongoing process rather than as an occasional activity. And we will look at this question. How is it similar to core academic writing? Reflective writing requires research and development. Depending on the task, it should focus on the question and answer the question. It involves critical thinking and analysis. The writing should be organized into paragraphs with accurate sentence structure and etc. It requires a formal style, and the discussion should be clear and coherent. And another question is that how is it different to core academic writing? So we will look at the difference. It is usually used in specific genres such as critical incidents, journals, and etc. It connects with personal feelings and behavior. It includes observation and evaluation, and it may be quite descriptive and informal. The use of the first person is appropriate. It tends to link theory to practice. And there are some steps to reflect in our writings before we go into a new learning or new work environment. We have to tell the story of what we might experience in such as much detail as you can. We have to make sure you note anything that you are confident about as well as anything you might find difficult. Step 2, we have to try to identify the main themes, look holistically at what we have written, and we have to think about everyone involved. And coming to step 3, we have to consider the factors that might influence our behavior and experiences, and we have to include our feelings, beliefs, and assumptions, as well as any factual information we have been given. And last step is that we have to sync our thoughts to our previous experiences. What happens the last time we went into a new learning or work environment? How might the new experience reflect these previous experiences? Is it likely to be similar or different, and why? How are we going to prepare for this new experience? And they are the steps to reflect. They are very important in writing reflective works. And you can see it is Gibbs model of reflection. So it is very clear, and it can be very helpful for learners, for writers to write a very good reflective writing. Firstly, description. In this description, we have to write about what happened. And then we have to move our feelings, and we will write about what were you thinking and feeling in that situation. And then evaluation part comes, and in this part we will write about what was good and bad about the experience. After that, we will analyze, and in this analysis, we will write about what sense can we make of the situation. And conclusion. What else could you have done? In the conclusion, we will give some concluding sentences, and we can give some suggestions. But in the first step, we have to make an action plan. If it arose again, what would you do? So, after writing all of this information, we will write about our action plan. In the future, how can we apply, how can we solve this situation if we would face in our future cases? And there are some structure for writing reflect our reflections, and the first step is introduction, and the second we will write main body, and we will write conclusion. In the introduction, general statement about the topic have to be given, and definitions and context and specific statement and purpose of the essay. Thesis statement, for example, it's the purpose of this essay to explore blah blah, and these parts are considered introduction, and we have to give 10% of the word count. And coming to main body, firstly, before looking at it, is important to take an overview of. First, we will write topic sentence, and then we give examples to support our claims with referencing, for example, with in-text citations and others. And contrasting sentences can be given. However, in contrast, nevertheless, they are very useful linking words. And the concluding sentences in sum, to sum up, in brief, in other words, in short. And we have to use these phrases in our conclusion part. And the referencing can be like this. Jonas argues that Smith's 2006 page 26 states that, and they are in text citation. Coming to conclusion part, in order to conclude, in conclusion, they are the phrases that can be used in the conclusion part, and we have to recall the issues raised in the introduction in our conclusion part, and we have to summarize the main points of the essay, and we have to come to a clear conclusion without introducing any new topics or this. So conclusion part is the summary part of the whole reflection, but in conclusion you shouldn't give any new sentence or new idea. And if you give any new idea or new statement, it's not considered conclusion. And reflection and critical thinking. At university, a considerable amount of our time will be spent thinking and reflecting about what other people have said, interesting factors that you have learned, and how your thinking has changed. The thinking process seems to involve two aspects, reflective thinking and critical thinking. They are not separate processes. On the contrary, they are closely connected. So, in order to write a very good reflection, we have to develop our critical thinking skills, because in reflection, we criticize something, we give our own feelings, opinions, and then we will evaluate and we will analyze and we will give our future action plan. So they are very closely connected with each other. Reflection and critical thinking. So you can say it's kind of map, or it's kind of a very good structure for reflection and critical thinking. And we write, firstly, we will justify actions, solve problems, deeper meanings, changes, and we will give assumptions, attitudes, we will show our values and beliefs, and then we will revisit our experiences and we will give our action plan. So reflective thinking, it is then critical thinking. It is the thinking process. So why we reflect in our writings? We reflect in order to learn something, or we learn as a result of reflecting. And there are some reasons in order to write reflections or to reflect. To learn from our experience through reflection, to consider and explore feelings, reactions, responses in more depth, to explore situations from different perspectives, to gain skills to move forward and make progress both and personally and professionally, to explore gaps in our knowledge and to look at how we can adapt to situations, and to look at the relationship between theory and practice, and to develop further self-awareness. So while we are writing reflections, we will develop our writing, and we will develop our self-awareness related to our works. There are some problems in reflecting, and unsure. We can be unsure of writing style or uncertain about the requirements of the task, and concerned over use of appropriate language, feeling uncomfortable expressing thoughts, and we are not able to think of ideas, events, or issues, and we are not able to accept strengths or weaknesses, and we are not willing to discuss ideas with others. They can be some challenging process for writing good reflection. There are some forms of reflective writing. You can see they may be structured or unstructured. Um, Forms of reflective writing, they are diary, logbook, study or work journal, and assignment. Types of reflective writing assignments: for first, a journal. It requires you to write weekly entries through the semester, and it may require you to base your reflection on course content. And you can see there are another one. It is learning diary. It is similar to a journal but may require group participation. The diary then becomes a place for you to communicate in writing with other group members. So, coming to logbook, it is often used in disciplines based on experimental work such as science. You note down or log what you have done. A log gives you an accurate record of process and helps you reflect on past actions and make better decisions. For future actions. And coming to reflective note, it is often used in law. Reflective note encourages you to think about your personal reaction to a legal issue raised in a course. And essay diary, it can take the form of an annotated bibliography where you examine sources of evidence you might include in your essay, and a critic where you reflect on your own writing and research processes. And peer review, it is usually it usually involves students showing their work to their peers for feedback. So it's very useful for learners in order to receive feedback from their peers or from teacher as well. And self-assessment, it requires you to comment on your work. You can say in this slide example of reflective writing, it is the engineering design report. You can see the style is relatively informal, and yet it uses full sentences, and it is relating what was learned and addresses the assignment question, and it reflects on direct experiences and direct reference to the course activity. And it has also example, and in this example it addresses the assignment question, and it reflects on direct experiences, then it direct reference to the course activity, and the style is relatively informal yet still uses full sentences and relating what was learned. It's quite good but not very good example. And social science fieldwork report. In this report, description explanation of method given, and it includes discipline-specific language and critical evaluation of method, and conclusion and recommendation based on the writer's experience. Coming to language for reflective writing, there are some benefits of reflection. This situation enabled me to explore my approach, reflect on my reflecting upon the incident. Reflection has provided me with opportunity to these phrases, these links can be very useful for your reflective writing and your knowledge and skills. They can be like considering the situation from different perspectives allowed me to, or provided me with. This provided equipped me with a new way of approaching, and I have begun to recognize my strengths as well as my weaknesses, recognize, identify my knowledge and skills, and build upon my, enhance my, and then I now feel more confident about integrating new ideas with present knowledge and presenting my view, opinion, and articulating my feelings. And I can now appreciate the significance of my experience and value my past experience and your opinions and views and goals. You can write like using this phrases, articulating, revising, re-evaluating my opinions give me the opportunity to something blah blah, and examine, explore, enhance my practice or ability by develop, work towards, re-evaluate my goals, function autonomously as an individual and become an active independent learner or plan realistic career or educational or personal goals. And coming to professional development, you can use these ones. It led me to question, it helped me to gain a sense of ownership of my professional development, extend, enhance, develop my professional knowledge, and develop, enhance my self-awareness, self-esteem, and increase my confidence, and interact with and gain insights from my peers, colleagues, and others. And all of this information given in this PowerPoint presentation can be very useful for you. And you are welcome to ask any questions. You can post your questions on discussion board or on Telegram group. And it's the end of our today's session. And now you can leave the session. Thank you for your attention.